Hey there, so today we are going to talk about Snapchat Etiquette 101. Now you know, all the millennials are on Snapchat and Generation Z. So I have put together this video for you, for us, the older generations, on how to use Snapchat correctly and not break all the rules. First off, there's something called streaks. That's when you send a picture either of yourself or the floor or the ceiling or your surroundings to your favorite friends on Snapchat. Here's the deal, if you break the streak, that means that you don't want to talk to them anymore. And trust me, they get the message, because once they see that you've broken the streak, they know that you don't want to talk to them anymore. Here's another thing about a streak. Never ever send a streak to your friends and then actually post that on your story. That's just rude. Now here's a tip when you're snapping. Make sure that you keep your phone straight up and down, vertical. Never take a snap horizontal, because the other person will have to turn their head to actually view the snap, and that's really annoying. Now let's talk about double snapping someone. Double snapping is bad. It makes you look desperate, especially if you double snap somebody that you're actually interested in or you have a crush on. Don't do that. It makes you look desperate. Now here's a really cool strategy. It's called R&R, read and no response. Now if somebody snaps you and you want to get the message across to them that you don't like them or you're mad at them or you're annoyed by them, you open the snap and you don't respond. That's called R&R, and that gets the message across to the person that's snapping you. Now, if you send a snap to one of your friends, and they're a good friend, and they actually R&R you, now it's okay to send them a snap again, called a double snap, with a mean looking face going, "What the heck? Why did you R&R me?" But remember, only do that to your close friends. Don't do that to your acquaintances, because again, you'll just look desperate. Now in the Snapchat world, you have something called your best friends list. Now listen to this. Your best friends may not actually have you as their best friend on their list. So you've got to be really careful in the Snapchat world, because you never really know who are actually best friends. And what makes Snapchat even better is there's always a little competition going on. You've got to compete with other Snapchatters out there to be the #1 friend in the other person's Snapchat. So in order to do that, you've got to keep snapping them. You've got to keep going back and forth. But remember, never double snap. Make sure you don't R&R, and don't appear desperate. So Snapchat will actually reward you. If you become the best friend of someone and they're your best friend, they will reward you with an emoji heart for everyone to see. Now how cool is that? I mean, is that not rewarding or what? So if somebody actually types out a snap to you, like a message in Snapchat, you can actually view that snap without the other person knowing that you actually opened it. So here is the secret to that. Not many people know this, so you are very lucky to be watching this video. You just halfway slide it over to view what it says and let it slide back, and the other person will never know if you opened that snap. Because here's the deal, if you open that snap, you gotta snap back. Because if you don't snap back and they see that you opened the snap, then you've basically R&R'd them, and then they're gonna basically get mad because you didn't snap them back, and they may double snap you with a mean face that actually says, "Why didn't you snap me? Did you just R&R me? What the heck? Why did you R&R me?" But only if you're actually a good friend will they do that. But if you're not a good friend, then they're gonna sit there and be mad because you R&R'd them. But here's the cool thing. Eventually they may actually accidentally snap you back, and now you can R&R them. Here's another tip. When somebody sends you a snap, you don't want to open it right away. Here's why. One, you don't want to look desperate. You don't want to look like you've been waiting on them to send you a snap. You don't want to appear that you're glued to your phone waiting for that response. So you want to wait about a minute before you open that snap. But when you do open that snap and you send it back to them and they end up waiting 2 minutes, make sure when they snap you back, you wait a minute longer than their 2 minutes. And then you send your snap. And then when they send it back to you, you always wait a minute longer than they waited to open your snap. It's etiquette. It's what you do. So there's two categories of people on Snapchat. There's the category of people who actually just click through your story. They don't really care about your life. They don't really care what you have going on. In fact, they're just acquaintances, so-called friends, basically just wanting you to view their story so they could have a lot of views and say they had 120 people view their story for the day. So by them just clicking through your story, it makes the other person feel like you actually viewed their story and you care about them. But then there's the other category of people. Those are your true friends. Those are the ones that actually take time and watch your entire story. They love to see what you've got going on in your life and they want to get involved and they snap you back. That's a true friend. But those that are out there just clicking through your story, again, the strategy is they're just doing it just to let you know they viewed your story, hoping that you'll view their story too. All right, so a couple of more things when it comes to Snapchat Etiquette 101. Never ever screenshot an ugly photo of a snap that was sent to you. Unless, of course, you're making Snapchat stickers out of it. Those are the best. So anytime your friend sends a picture of their double chin, which does happen often, and you should actually be doing that. You should send a picture to your friend of your double chin, and you should always create stickers, Snapchat stickers, of your friends' ugly selfies that they send to you. Now let's talk about filters. Filters are the bomb. Make sure you're using filters if you want to look cuter. If you want to appear you have makeup on, if you want to have a cute hat, maybe a tiara, a flower tiara, a necklace, darker eyebrows, eyeshadow, lipstick, always use filters. Now here's the deal. Don't try to use filters on your animals. It doesn't work. Plus, it's not very cool. So now that you know the basics of Snapchat Etiquette 101, now you can jump into the Snapchat world and look and appear like you're an expert when it comes to Snapchat.